running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
And I think we're just 104.7 FM today, although we are Facebook Live. Hi, Ma. And we are on WJOB1230.com. So you can still listen. You can still watch. We're not dead in the water. Boy, we got struck by a big bolt of lightning, though. I think Jed has still got smoke coming out his ears. He must have been right there with his headphones on. Pretty cool, I will tell you. 219-845-1100. That's the hotline. You've got questions. I've got answers because I am your car guy. I have been. It'll be 9 years come September 1st. Ooh, your car guy tip of the week is brought to you by the Auto Store in Griffith, Ridge Road and Broad Street. College bound or grocery getter, the Auto Store has a vehicle for you. Don't forget to see the Auto Store. This week's WJOB card tip will hopefully shed some light on questions I hear every day, and I do. On my shelves at Unlimited Service, I have no less than 5 different antifreezes, 8 kinds and weights of engine oil, 4 different brake fluids, and several power steering fluids. Today's vehicles are very specific in the fluids needed to keep it running and stopping and steering properly. To ignore manufacturer specs will not only void any warranty, but could lead to disaster. Special metals and alloys used to build today's cars and trucks require proper lubricants, as well as periodic flushes and replacements that we never had to do before. They made them lighter and better, but they a little bit more maintenance, nothing serious. And oh yeah, one more thing. If you're using a fast or cut rate facility for your regular maintenance oil changes and stuff, be absolutely sure that whoever is performing the work, the maintenance, is qualified and knows exactly what fluids your vehicle requires. I just had one in the other day that had the wrong brake fluid in it. Not good. Let me tell you how much that cost. I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite days. I don't get a lot of guests that I really get excited about, but we're doing something with Lark. Lark is it's serving people with developmental disabilities for years. Bill Colmar, originally a old Whiting boy, is here, and he is more or less the PR man for what they've got coming up here is their car show on August the 20th. Bill, welcome to the Car Guy Show.
Thank you.
And why don't you do this? Why don't you tell the people just a little bit about Lark?
Lark is a company, as you said, providing developmental disabled adults an opportunity to work and participate in the community. They have approximately 80, 85 people, depends on the timing. It was originally formed in 1956. And they have ongoing things all year. I mean, they have they have an appreciation dinner that they have for the people that do help out. They sponsor a walkathon, a golf outing, a fish fry, and of course the premier car show of the August the 20th. And the car show is really made up, the ones that come to this car show are car guys that they have a lot of pride in the cars. A lot of the cars have been built by themselves and or maintained by the guys. So you walk around and you talk to them, and if you're in the area, whether you have an old car or whether you just enjoy them, come down because you'll get a wealth of information just with talking with the people there. And most car guys, for whatever it's worth, are eaters, and there is plenty of food to eat there. They have walking tacos. Mancino's has pizza and whatnot, and hamburgers, hot dogs, and just good conversation. You can walk around. They have a beautiful facility for walking around looking.
Oh, absolutely. Lark has a great big facility, a huge parking lot. The couple of years in a row now that we've been there, the car show has actually been well run, and it's set up nice, and it's in, like I say, in a nice facility, and the proceeds go exactly where they're supposed to. I mean, it's a nice thing. Lark has done wonders in this area, and I'm sure they have Here in Indiana, they have a thing called the ARC, A-R-C, which is another thing. And out in the Heights, there's a thing, Chicago Heights, a thing called ARC. LARC is just the Lansing version. And it's run by good people, solid people that they keep things in check because, of course, they are a very limited budget. They have to run a lot of fundraisers. They're always doing stuff. But this car show, like Bill just said, impresses me most because it's full of car guys. T-Rex and I go to a lot of different stuff. We go all over. Cruise nights and car shows and soapbox derbies, you name it. T-Rex, I just about seen it all. We've been to the Crown Point Fairgrounds. We even went to a cemetery for a car show twice. And guess what? We've met a lot of people. And T-Rex, who is actually a Purdue graduate, and he's an engineer by trade, a producer and video split. He's got it all. Didn't know the first thing about cars. He knows where the key goes. Now he's a car guy. Just from exposure to these guys like Bill is talking about that are coming to this car show at LARC. LARC it's right down Wentworth Avenue in Lansing. It's on the border with Munster.
Right, and it's just if you're leaving Airport Road and you're going north, and just before you get to the railroad tracks, it's on the right-hand side. And I will have a red chop-top 40 Ford sitting out at the road as a director to get in.
That's one sitting right out here right now, and it's a sweetie, boys and girls. Let me just tell you, this is a real sweetie. And I could stand there in the parking lot and take a 9-iron and hit it to Munster. It's right there. I mean, it's on the border with Munster, and it's out there by the airport side. It's north of the airport on Wentworth Avenue. Real easy to find. You can't miss because it's a huge parking lot and it's a huge show. And you got some good vendors coming out with some good chow. There'll be plenty of food to eat. Mancino's is going to be there. How about Lenny Q's?
Yeah, and they have that. One of the things I wanted to mention, Big George, was that Thunder Road Productions has a lot to do with organizing the show. They have the broadcast facilities. And this is not a judged thing, but when they do judge, they are pros at it. And Barb and Hank have been doing this for a long time, and they're very, very good.
This is a come show off your car show.
Exactly.
And I tell you what, they get some real beauties. Whew. Stuff you don't see at all the shows. Stuff that sits in garages most of the time.
Yeah, they bring them out because if it's a nice day, boy, you see cars that you just haven't seen for a while.
And this is a good cause. That also brings them out of the woodwork, Bill. I mean, people, they know LARC. They know LARC's work. They're not afraid to say that they want to help LARC.
Yeah, and I was telling some of the people at LARC that this time when I went around and I was handing out the leaflets at the cruise on Ridge Road, and I talked to probably dozens of people as I walked and told them what exactly the LARC was and what was involved. And everybody wants to help. Absolutely.
I deal with LARC every day. Their fellow Joe Smith is the guy that handles their fleet. He's a car guy. He's a gearhead just like I am. Matter of fact, we use Joe once in a while, comes out and helps us judge the car shows when my crew is judging. And because my crew is strictly car guys, and Joe is a car guy. And he's the one that gave me your phone number, and I said, well, I got to get him in here. We got to talk about this show because it's just a great show. Joe is actually in charge of the fleets. The vehicles at LARC. He makes sure they all get their oils changed like they're supposed to. It's not easy, trust me. He has to run down the street and chase them sometimes. But it is what it is. It's a fleet. It's a lot of drivers, and they do a lot of work. They have houses around Lansing.
Right.
They have several houses. I think they might have one in Munster too, if I'm not mistaken.
And these they are sponsored by, and they have a sponsor living there to make sure these people are fine.
Right, they have a resident sponsor that cares for them and sets them on the right path and, gets them ready for this or that. And it's a nice home, it's in a nice neighborhood, and it's always well kept. And it's so nice to have this kind of thing going on, Bill. I mean, they do a great job.
They do, and one of the things for the people, if you have any questions about the show or anything else, there's a guy named Gary Buell, and you can call him at 708-474-1540. And he is the LARC guy for publicity and all that kind of stuff. So you can give him a call if you have any time at all on the 20th. come out to the show, see the cars, talk to the people, and enjoy some good food.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, Mancino's has got some of the greatest sandwiches going. But you know what? Lenny Q's, if you have, I'm going to tell you guys, and this is a hot tip from your car guy, you heard it here first. Try Lenny Q's Sloppy Joes. Oh my God, they are to die for. They are the best. Lynn just does something to those. I don't know if she stirs them with her finger to make them sweet, but they're just great. And Lenny Q's, and both those places got great chow. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna meet the real car guys in the area, of which Carl here or Bill here is one of them. He's got that old Ford sitting out there, that 40 Ford. It's all chopped and chan. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a fun hobby, and the people that you meet at car shows are the genuine folks. There's not a whole lot of pretense, and they're genuine people with the same interests. They're all family people and ready to go.
I got to tell you, and believe me, these people that Bill is talking about, he's right. These are people that have worked long, hard hours just getting this car to the shape it is, and now they spend long, hard hours waxing it and making it look nice.
And they want to talk to you about it.
Absolutely. Who doesn't? Get the kids. Bring the kids. Get them to take that phone and put it in the glove box for a while. Come on out and look at some cool hot rods. Talk about how these are made, how they're powered, how they're painted. There's just so much, a wealth of knowledge that you can have if you just show up and check it out. We're talking with Bill Colmar from Lark. They have a car show coming up. This is August the 20th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's in Lansing on Wentworth Avenue, north of the airport, half a mile or so at the most. You can't miss it. It's huge. It's right by the railroad tracks, and there's just, it's a big lot, and it's going to be a huge show. It always is. And this is the show. Bill was explaining that this is the show where you see the car guys, the real car guys. This is fun. This is a car show. You're going to see the best of the Whiting Cruise nights, the best of the Blue Top car rallies, the best of the show out in Crown Point. And they're all going to be the diehards are going to be at Lark on the 20th at 11 a.m. What do you think, Bill? It's going to be a big show.
It is, and one of the things you touched on, George, was that the guys that have these cars love to talk about them. They put a lot of time, money, and energy into building those cars and maintaining them. And they'd love to talk about them. And one of the things we had talked about, parents walk around with their kids and say, hey, don't touch, don't touch. You know what? A lot of times I stop and I go through to and tell them, open the door, let's take a picture of the kids in the car. The kids will never forget it. They'll always have that picture that they were at a car show. And if there's anything we want to promote, it's doing that.
Well, I got to tell you, I still have a picture of the last show at Blue Top with my wife in the back of a 55 Chevy, my sophisticated bride, showing me how she tuned the radio with her toes when she was back there smooching her boyfriend in the 50s. I mean, come on.
We won't even talk about
I don't even want to know. But she could tune the radio with her toes. I thought John Golfus was going to have a kitten watching her. And guess what? We got John on line one. Good morning, John.
Hey, George, how are you?
Were your ears ringing? We were talking about you.
Oh, yeah, they were.
That's that up, boy. What's up with you, man?
Well, we're going to have a car show August 21st, Blue Top Car Show.
Okay, that's the day after this one. That's perfect.
Yeah, we're going to probably, it's going to be over $3,000 in prizes we're going to give out.
Hokey smoke, my man. Woo!
Yeah, any car that's going to enter, we're going to give $500 to, and whoever pulls the lucky ticket.
Wow. I'm looking forward to this. You got to give me some details on this.
Okay, I will. I'll shoot it over in an email to you and put it on your website if we can. Okay, George?
Oh, my, yes. This is another great one.
How's the T-shirts?
My T-shirts fit like a glove. But I had to wear a WJOB shirt today. We're still negotiating that. It won't be long, buddy. Won't be long. Thanks, John. Thanks for calling. You're the man. He is the man. I'm telling you, Blue Top is there you go. There's another great car show. The summer has been just beautiful for car shows, and we've had nothing but good times, and they've just been great. And this coming up this August, now here we're talking August, is full as far as I'm concerned. I've got a couple of shows, and on the 13th, T-Rex and I are going to take a Saturday off, and we're going to do the best of, because we're going to be, well, he's going one way, he's going north, and I'm going east or west. I don't know, but we'll have to go a long way before we meet. But anyway, the cruising nights, the car show nights, August is loaded with them, and this one at Lark is actually, it's not one of them. It's more of an exception. It's a great night for people to come out with their good old hot rods, families to come out, plenty to eat. You know what? Are they going to have the facilities open there where people can come in and see what Lark does? And
Yeah, usually, and if they want specific information about it, I know Gary will be there. There's several people that are going to be there to be happy to take you around, show you what you want. And we have a lot of literature that we can give you that they're always looking for donations. It's always a good group. And we have, it's a volunteer, there's not like we charge $20 or $30 to get in. It's all a donation. And we're going to have some shirts. Well, you can't see it, but like the shirts like I have on, they're from, be the 15th anniversary of 9/11.
Ah.
And so we've got these shirts by them. And again, the Lark does such wonderful things. They're going to have a raffle this fall, and I think it's at the Fish Fry. And my wife is making a flag. It's a furled flag with writing it. They're beautiful. She made one for the Blackhawks last year, and they're just a raffle. You get a chance to buy tickets for that. They're well done. But people wait. They want to get in line to do stuff for the Lark.
They want to help Lark. This has been going on since 1956. I remember when Lark was in that little building by the Sportsman's Club Lake. That was their school. That was the original Lark.
Yeah.
First, it was the original clubhouse for the Sportsman's Club. Then they built that new big one back there on the other side of the lake, and they took that little building, they gave it to Lark, and Lark started off. And it was just, and it's blossomed since then.
Yeah. And they have lots of, the Lions Club is very, very big in helping out, and there are lots of organizations. But again, when people see that only by the grace of God did that not walk with you and you were there, that these people want to help and donate.
Oh,
and
absolutely. And the Lions Club, of course, is big in everything. The one in Lansing is an especially involved, they're very, very involved in everything that goes on in Lansing. It's a great club. It's a good bunch of guys. There's several good service clubs in Lansing, as a matter of fact, that are really up there. And, of course, the Lions is one of them. This car show they call it an annual cruise. It's a good chance. First and foremost, it's a great chance to come out and see some really cool hot rods. I mean, T-Rex and I are going to be there filming. We're going to do some interviews. We're going to talk to some of these people about the gazillion hours they got in restoring that car.
And money.
Oh, yeah. And I asked the fellow at the Blue Top last week, I said, I know it's like asking a woman how old she is. I won't ask you how much money you have into this car, but I was just telling you, it was a red 55, and it was beautiful. And I think my wife was still in it at the time, in the back seat. And I said, how much would it take? What kind of check would I have to write to buy this? And he goes, oh, I never thought about it. I don't know if I could sell it. He said, but I wouldn't take less than X amount. I thought to myself, man, for the time and money he's got in it, that's real reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
You can't put a price tag on that.
I mean, the Lark is a wonderful organization, but John over at Blue Top is another. He's a real car guy.
Oh, he's a genuine gearhead.
Again, gives back.
He's a genuine gearhead. I'm telling you, and he gives back to the community. And that's what this is all about. We've got to get. I'm going to tell you what my dad used to say when I was sitting around in the house moping and doing nothing. And I was a young kid. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have notebooks. We didn't have computers. He just looked at me and said, why don't you go out and get the stink blowed off you? And he meant that you just can't sit here in a house and you can't play with, and today, I'm sure today would kill him with the phones and the iPads and all that. It would just kill him because you got to get out and do stuff. And this kind of thing, this thing at Lark, this is cool. And there's plenty to eat. There's good food there Oh, between Mancino's and Lenny Q's, try the sloppy joes. That's my little secret.
And the walking tacos are killer.
Yeah, the walking tacos are killers. I just love that kind of stuff. That's the reason I have a little problem with my belt. It's always too small. Yeah, that's how that works. But anyway, we're going to have a good time. T-Rex and I will be out there. We'll be doing some filming. We'll do some fancy interviews for YouTube and Facebook because that's what T-Rex does. He's good at it. I'm telling you. He sets it up. He hands me the microphone and says, speak. Like a dog, he tells me, speak. And I do. And we have a good time. It's nothing but a good time. And we like to eat a little bit, too. So I'm sure there'll be a sloppy Joe and a walking taco in my future on that day. You can't beat this show. You can't beat this kind of show. Lark's been around since 1956. They've been doing a job for people with developmental disabilities for all those years. This is a part of our society, guys, and it's not in any way, shape, or form a bad part of our society. It's a beautiful part of our society. I have several in my family, in the outskirts of my family, and these kids, they come to the family doings, and they're just beautiful. They're so pure and so honest, and so it's just nice.
And they just want to be treated like a human being.
Absolutely, and they just love fancy cars. Oh, do they love the hot rods?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I've been to a couple. T-Rex and I did a car show out in Valparaiso. My God, it was. He says it was Valparaiso, but I was on Ridge Road a long time. I felt like I was almost in Ohio, but T-Rex says Valparaiso. He swears, and that was developmentally disabled for the Special Olympics. And I had a crew of the disabled kids, special kids, follow me around all day, and we sang and we had a ball. We just had a ball. I just never had more fun like that. And, of course, that's where T-Rex introduced me to kettle corn. That became a problem for a while. It was like heroin. I couldn't get enough kettle corn in my world. I had a bag this big, and we ate it all the way home. And, again, that was Special Olympics. It was a great time, man. And it was a car show, bike show. This thing at Lark has been going on 15 years now. And you know, it's going to be crowded. It's going to have a lot of good stuff there, and you're going to enjoy yourself. There's plenty of parking. It's not that you can't get in there. Trust me. If you want to go to this show, this place, the parking lot's huge. You can get in there and do anything you want.
My wife and I are usually out there in the driveway showing people where to go. If you're driving a car you just want to see, you park over here. If you put your car in the show, we have the special grassed-in area just for that.
Beautiful. See, we even have Mr. and Mrs. Colmar directing traffic. I can't wait to see this. They give you a little red flashlight, Bill?
No, they don't give you much protection.
We're going to have to get you a shovel or something.
Something.
Or a fly swatter at least so you can swat the car as it goes by too close. Even the guys that do the crossing guards in town got the stop signs they can hit them with.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, we're looking forward to this one. This one at Lark is going to be the best. And now, John just called and said we're going to have one at Blue Top on the 21st. My weekend's locked up. That's just two great places and two great causes. And you're going to get good food. Well, you know you're going to get good food at Blue Top. Oh, that is just without saying. That's absolutely.
And lots of it.
Yeah, and lots of it. Plenty of food. And you know, with the vendors they have at this car show, Lenny Q's and Mancino's. You know what? I might just go and eat. I might let T-Rex interview himself for a while, because you're going to have a great show, Bill. You're going to have a great show. You're going to have great cars.
We have in the past,
Yep.
And it's a joy to do, and it's wonderful. And Barb and Hank put on a good thing with Thunder Road. It's a big combination effort, and it works.
Well, this year we're going to immortalize it in the Your Carguy annals. We're going to put it all over the internet, everywhere you want to be. And everybody wants to look up the car show for Lark, they can look it up. It'll be there. We'll even get a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Colmar directing traffic. I can't wait to see this. This should be interesting. He doesn't look like the jovial type. I would not push him if I were you. Do not drive too close to the parking guy. Bill, I'm glad you came out so much. Thank you so much.
The Lark, I really appreciate it.
Oh, you know what? We're going to have a ball. We may talk about this again before it's all over so that we can get things going for you, because I really want people to come to this. I want them to be there.
Sounds
It's
good.
going to be a good time. There's no doubt in my mind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.